Hello everyone, this is the Sage of Calidor coming to you with another video, and today I thought I'd take a trip into Middle-earth and explore one of my favorite human factions, Gondorians, but I'm going to go even further. Today this lore is going to be about the Principality of Dol Amroth in Gondor. And today we begin. Dol Amroth was ruled by a royal Númenórean family of the faithful in the Second Age. It was its banner of the silver swan flew alongside that of the white tree, and the first king of the faithful, the realms of the exiled Númenóreans, the exiled realms of the Dunedain, of Gondor and Arnor, they were distant relatives, and so they settled in Gondor along with Elcidor and his brother. What is interesting is Dol Amroth, as you can see right close by Dol Amroth, Belfalas, is actually, it was put in a fortified position to protect the realms of Gondor to the south, and it is different than other provinces of Gondor. First off, it was built on top of foundations of long deserted elven harbors, because during the First Age this was a port of the elves, and there in the late First Stage, Sindar refugees actually settled this area and established a kingdom. And in the Second Age, when the Dunedain, the Númenóreans, showed up, the faithful would intermingle with the elves. This section of Gondor has elven blood flowing through the veins of everyone, namely the aristocracy. The first prince of Dol Amroth married actually married the first prince of Dol Amroth was actually the son of one of these unions. Before, I got my info mixed up a little bit, and I apologize. The Prince of Dol Amroth was first the Prince of Belfast, but after something went wrong, I believe Dol Amroth was built in the honor of a deceased elven king that died in the harbor. Dol Amroth was established, and in Dol Amroth between the seat of the Prince of Belfast, but Dol Amroth was widely renowned as a good center part. Well, anyway, the Prince of Belfast, Imrazor the Númenórean, married Mithraelas, one of the elves of the area, and they had two half-elven children, Galador, the first prince of Dol Amroth, and Gilmith, a daughter. And for generations, for centuries, the princes of Dol Amroth ruled this land in an unbroken line from the Second Age all the way from the Second Age through the Third Age all the way down Third Age all the way down to the War of the Ring. The One of their princes fought under the king of Gondor against the Easterlings. One of the princes was killed in battle against the Corsairs of Umbar, but still this royal line remained. Their line actually extended into the into the line of numerous kingdoms. One of their distant relatives actually is King Theoden of Rohan's actually Theoden of Rohan's grandmother. And this brings us to the War of the Ring. The War of the Ring, the Prince of Dol Amroth was Imrahil. He was a mighty warrior of great renown he had two older sisters, Ivranel and Finduilas. Finduilas married Denethor, the steward of Gondor, so he is Boromir and Freymir's nephew, and he led a company of Swan Knights, the elite cavalry of Gondor. These guys consist of some of the most bravest knights. I mean, a force of these men charged out to the aid of Frymir and came to his aid when he was leading a desperate rearguard action against the forces of Mordor. If you wish to know what really happened, read the book, read actual information. The movies were great, but they did not show how Frymir was actually wounded. Frymir was wounded leading a rearguard action as forces of Osgondor were fleeing Osgiliath. And so he so so he took so he led a force of Dol Amroth soldiers to the defense of Minas Tirith. The rest were keeping the Corsairs of Umbar away. And he took over assisting Gandalf when Denethor lost his mind, so he became temporary steward of Gondor. And later, when Aragorn arrived with reinforcements to turn the tide of the battle, he personally led forces from Minas Tirith to aid the men of Rohan and the reinforcements. It was there on the battlefield two things happened. One, he met Éomer, the heir apparent of and nephew of King Theoden, and two, he met Aragorn, who he instantly recognized as his king, and he had a talk with Aragorn, and Aragorn wanted to wait to enter the city until the steward of Gondor invited him, which was a big deal because Denethor was technically still alive at this point, and well, actually at this point he was dead, but Frymir was incapacitated, and this shows how much this won over his respect because he saw Aragorn was highly respectful that his brother-in-law had a great deal of strong will and pride, and Aragorn did not want to disrupt the problem. But he did take over rulership of the city until Frymir awoke and became steward essentially. And um, and during this council, he was part of the council that says, "Let us move to the Black Gates and challenge Sauron in battle to buy time for the War of the Ring." Imrahil wanted to join his new king. Doesn't that picture look awesome? I can't resist. I couldn't resist. I'm sorry. And um, he wanted to go assist his king, but he understood that he was in charge of the city, so he reluctantly decided to stay there. And later, the Battle of the Black Gate was a success with the One Ring destroyed, and he was present at the coronation of Aragorn as King Elessar and rode with a funeral procession of King Theoden to Rohan, where he actually became great friends with Eomer, and later his daughter Lothariel would marry King Eomer of Rohan, and Eomer would have a son named Elfwine the Fair. And after the War of the Ring, he Prince Imrahil, along with his nephew Prince Frymir, who was installed as Prince of Ithilien, were King Elessar's chief commanders and part of the Great Council of Gondor, and remained an advisor to the king. And he died sometime in the Fourth Age and was succeeded by his eldest son Elfir, who continued the line of princes. So, yeah, for generations, there you have it. The line of Dol Amroth bound together to the line of kings of Gondor and Arnor, bound to the line of Rohan through friendships and family ties, and also the stewards of Gondor. And I think I like this faction so much because it looks like a perfect mesh of two of my favorite cultures of Middle-earth, the elves and the Numenorians, and I find it so wonderful. And yeah, I wish to thank Lionheart X10 and the head of the modding team of Divide and Conquer Third Age Total War. I will give you the playlists. They constructed Dol Amroth as a faction for Third Age Total War, and there is this guy who is the head of the modding team. He was playing Dol Amroth. He did very well and did a very wonderful job of presenting the faction. And I will post you the link of the introduction video to Dol Amroth as a faction in the campaign list, and I encourage you to watch it for yourself. And also, Lionheart X10 also played Dol Amroth very well. Excellent. He played Dol Amroth faction very well. I loved watching it from beginning to end. And I ask you to do me a favor. First, leave a like, subscribe, and share. And down in the comments, tell me, what is your favorite faction, your culture of the world of Lord of the Rings? And also tell me if you would like me to give you another video about it. I'm more than willing to. And also, if you do that, please have it in your heart to go to these guys' channels, take an honest watch through the video, and leave a like, comment, and subscribe to them. Anyway, thank you. I will say I was not asked by these guys to do it. I just did it on my own free will because I appreciate their efforts. Anyway, thank you for your time. This is the Sage of Calidor, and I'll see you later.